The strongest person in the room is the one who no longer needs to be seen. Sit with that for a second. Not admired, not seen, because there's a difference, and most people spend their entire lives confusing the two. You've met someone like this before, maybe only once. They walk into a room and they don't perform. They don't scan the crowd checking who noticed them. They don't laugh a little louder at the joke that wasn't funny, just to be included. They simply exist there fully, like a tree that doesn't ask the wind for permission to stand. And something about that unsettles people, because most of us have never stood like that in our lives. We've been standing like a question mark instead. Am I doing okay? Do they like me? Was that a good thing to say? Did I come across as smart, as confident, as worth someone's time? 1,000 tiny audits running in the background of an ordinary Tuesday, and we call this being sociable. We call it being likable. What it actually is begging, quiet, well-dressed, socially acceptable begging, and nobody warns you about it because everybody's doing it. Here's the part that stings a little. This isn't a personality flaw. It's not a character defect you were born with. It's a wound with a very specific origin, and once you understand where it comes from, you stop being ashamed of it, and you start being able to actually deal with it. Go back far enough and you'll find it. A child who only got attention when they achieved something, a kid who learned that love had conditions attached, like fine print, nobody reads until it's too late. A teenager who got laughed at once in front of the wrong people at the wrong moment, and quietly decided that their real self was too dangerous to show again, so they built a second self, a performance, a version of them tailored for approval instead of truth. And that performance got so good, so seamless, that eventually they forgot they were even doing it. That's the hidden problem. It's not that you want to be liked. Wanting connection is human, and there's nothing weak about that. The problem is when your sense of worth gets outsourced entirely to other people's opinions, and you become a kind of emotional tenant, renting your own identity from a landlord who changes the price whenever they feel like it. Think about what that actually costs you. Every decision starts passing through a filter that has nothing to do with what you want. What will they think if I take that job? What will they think if I leave that relationship? What will they think if I say no, if I speak up, if I admit I don't know something? You stop living your life and start curating it, and curation is exhausting because it's a performance with no intermission. The show never ends because the audience never leaves your head. Most people never fix this, and it's worth understanding exactly why, because the reason is almost never what you'd expect. It's not laziness, it's not weakness, it's that chasing approval actually works in the short term. Somebody praises you, and for about 4 minutes the ache goes quiet, so you go looking for the next hit of praise, and the next one, and the next one. It becomes a loop that behaves exactly like an addiction, because structurally it is one. Dopamine doesn't care whether the reward is a drug or a compliment. The brain treats both the same way. This is why people can intellectually know that validation seeking is hollow and still keep doing it. Understanding a trap does not automatically release you from it. You have to build something sturdier than the trap itself. This is where the Stoics become dangerously relevant, because they weren't writing self-help. They were writing survival manuals for men who had actual reasons to be afraid. Soldiers, exiles, a slave, an emperor who buried his own children, Epictetus, who began his life in chains, taught something that sounds almost rude in its simplicity. Some things are within your control, and some things are not, and your entire peace of mind depends on knowing which is which. Other people's opinions of you sit firmly in the second category. You cannot manage them. You cannot secure them. The moment you try, you've handed the steering wheel of your life to a stranger. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled most of the known world, wrote privately to himself about how strange it was to crave praise from people whose judgment he didn't even respect. If you wouldn't trust their opinion on anything else, why let their opinion of you carry so much weight? And Seneca, who watched an empire chew people up and spit them out for sport, warned that a person who needs the crowd's applause will always be at the crowd's mercy. The crowd is fickle. It loved you yesterday. It may not remember your name tomorrow. Build your identity on that, and you've built a house on a flood plain. None of them said stop caring about people. That's a lazy misreading of Stoicism. the version that gets turned into cold, detached, quote, graphics. What they actually said is subtler and harder. Care about people. Love them, even. But do not let your worth be decided by a vote you don't get to count. There's a difference between wanting connection and needing approval to feel like a whole person. One is human, the other is a hole you can never fill, because the moment one person's approval satisfies you, you'll go looking for the next person to approve of you too. Here's the psychological turn that changes everything, and it's simpler than people expect. Validation seeking isn't really about other people at all. It's a symptom. The actual disease is a shaky relationship with yourself. When you don't trust your own judgment, you outsource judgment to whoever's standing nearby. When you don't know your own worth, you go asking strangers to assess it for you, like handing your report card to people who've never even read the material. The moment you begin trusting your own perception of yourself, the outside noise starts to lose its grip. Not because people stop having opinions, they never will, but because their opinions stop being load-bearing walls in the structure of who you are. So what does the actual shift look like in practice on an ordinary day, not just in theory? It starts with catching yourself in the act. The next time you feel that small flutter of anxiety before you speak, before you post something, before you make a choice, pause and ask what you're actually chasing. Are you doing this because it's true to you, or because you're hoping it earns you a nod from someone watching? That single pause, repeated enough times, rewires the whole pattern. Awareness is the first crack in a habit that used to run on autopilot. Then comes a harder discipline, learning to sit in disapproval without collapsing. Let someone disagree with you and don't immediately scramble to fix it. Let someone misunderstand you and don't chase them down with an explanation. Every time you survive being disliked without dying inside, you prove something to the deepest, most frightened part of your brain. That disapproval is not actually dangerous. It just feels dangerous because somewhere back in your history it once was, but you're not that age anymore, and you're not in that room anymore. There's also the quiet practice of doing something well when nobody's watching. Not for a caption, not for a story that expires in 24 hours, just because it matters to you. This rebuilds the muscle that validation chasing slowly wastes away, the ability to feel proud of yourself using only your own eyes as the witness. And there's one more shift, maybe the deepest one. Start speaking to yourself the way you'd speak to somebody you were trying to protect. Most people are their own harshest critic, and everyone else's most generous cheerleader. Flip that. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt you hand out so easily to strangers. None of this happens overnight, and it isn't supposed to. Old wiring doesn't get replaced in a weekend. But there is a specific day, if you keep at this, when something shifts, not loudly, not with fireworks, just a quiet internal exhale. You'll be in a room, maybe an ordinary one, and you'll say something honest, and somebody's face will do that thing where they don't quite agree or they don't quite approve, and you'll notice calmly that you're still standing. Nothing in you scrambles to fix it, nothing in you rushes to explain. You just stay exactly as you are, and the room doesn't end you. That's the day your mind stops begging, not because you stopped caring about people. You'll still love them, still want to connect, still want to be understood, but you'll no longer need their permission to feel whole. You'll walk into a room the way that person you once envied did, not performing, not scanning for approval, just present, solid, undivided. And here's the quiet secret nobody tells you about that day. The moment you stop begging to be seen is usually the exact moment people finally start seeing you, not the performance, not the curated version built for applause. You, the real one, the one who was always standing there, waiting for you to stop hiding behind the need to be liked. Marcus Aurelius wrote his private reflections not for an audience, not for history, but for himself, in the middle of a war camp, at the end of exhausting days, just trying to remember who he actually was underneath the armor and the title and the noise of an empire's expectations. That's the discipline, not becoming someone new, remembering who you were before the world taught you to negotiate for your own worth. You were never meant to spend your life as a question mark, waiting for someone else to answer it for you. Stand up straight, stop asking, start living like the answer was inside you the entire time.